Hey Flosstube, it's Barbara the Raspberry Stitcher. How are you? I am back for episode number 16. I planned to have been back earlier, but I had some other things going on, which I will speak to later. But it's a wonderful Sunday morning, and we're going to have beautiful blue skies and sun. I'm excited, and the temperatures are warming up over the next few days. We do have rain coming in, though, on Monday and Tuesday. But I'll tell you, it probably won't matter to me. I'll tell you why later. Anyway, I hope everyone's doing well. I had a wonderful friend, Darlene, reach out to me and was like, are you going to do Flosstube soon? I'm like, I guess I will. And I had planned to do one last weekend. It didn't quite happen. So I definitely wanted to do one this weekend and get one out to you guys. It's been a month since I did the 2 whip braids. I really wanted to do a January, run through of my plans. I'm going to let you know what my plans are, but I won't be able to do as in depth because that would take too long. And I have a ton of stuff laid out here, as you can see, even over here, to show you and to let you see what I've been doing. So first, just kind of a little life update. If you don't want to listen, just fast forward till you see me showing something. I've had a few things that have happened in the fall and over Christmas and beginning of this year that have really kept me from doing Flosstube as much as I wanted to, but that is okay. It was family obligations that I really felt called to make sure I took care of. I had a mother who in 2019 was diagnosed with cancer, fought a wonderful battle, but just lost her battle in January and passed away on the 24th. That's part of the reason I haven't been doing as many of these types of things or as much even on social media. I've tried, but it's been very difficult. I was trying to visit her as much as possible and help my stepdad with her care as much as I could. Plus I work, plus I'm trying to go see my son. As many of you, if you've watched before, know I have a son with autism. He lives in a residential facility 2 hours from me, so it takes a good day to go and visit him. And so those are some things that have definitely been kind of obstacles in taking my time, which are things that needed to take my time. I wanted to spend as much time with family and doing those types of things and having those memories going forward. Over the summer, my mom was doing very well, and we even had a couple of trips to go see some family who live north of us, and those are treasured memories of just her and I alone time in the car and with other family members when we were there. So I totally am grateful to God for those times. My mother did start to get more ill in the fall and took a turn for the worse around Thanksgiving, Christmas time. Was in and out of the hospital, in nursing home care, and then eventually nursing home / hospice care. So I would like to go over, I know some of you have seen on my Instagram page, I had originally finished this last year, which many of you know, Blackbird's What Remains. And I knew that I was going to dedicate this to my mom. Eventually, her cancer was inoperable. It was terminal. We knew that in 2019. We just knew we only had so much time with her. I ended up getting the Amy Mitten silks. I did this in her silks, and her silks are amazing. If you want to look her up, she is doing conversions for hats also, and they are beautiful silks. They have a really beautiful sheen to them. They have a different twist to them, which I enjoy because they don't untwist for me. I'm lefty, so I enjoy them a lot. So here is my What Remains, and I always say is love because it truly is what remains of our family. So I had finished everything but the year. I had started the year, which I probably shouldn't have because I had to pick the whole thing out and redo it. Just so it was centered correctly. But I ended up adding the year. I added her death date, her initials, which are very faint, are here. And then I added my initials right here. There is a hashtag on Instagram for that. A bunch of women are honoring their mothers by stitching this and in their memory. And I believe, let me double check because I don't want to get it wrong, is a mother's love Sal. So hashtag a mother's love Sal. So if you decide to do that or want to post yours there in honor of your mother or even a loved family member, I would feel free to do that because it's fun to see what other people do with that. So I am happy to have that done. I'm planning to get this one professionally framed and get it up at some point. So that is the plan. Also, this chart will be coming out at market. I know many of you have been looking for it. It's already been announced that this chart will be coming out at market. So everyone will be able, it's upside down, everyone will be able to get this done. And I know a lot of people have wanted to who didn't get in on it when it was a limited release through Traditional Stitches. So all of your LNSs should have the opportunity to order that and pre-order it. I'm sure many of you are already pre-ordering it because it's a beautiful one. Next, I'm going to keep going with this theme so I can kind of get it out of the way. Let me bring this bag over. A while ago, I think there was I swear I remember a little like sneak peek of this pattern. I can't remember where it was from. I could be wrong, but as soon as this pattern came out, I knew that A, I was going to stitch it because it has purple flowers in it, and I love purple, as you all know. And then B, when I read the saying and what was going on, I knew I had to do this as a celebration piece for my mother. It's Memories of the Past, and by Hands Across the Sea. Those purple flowers are absolutely amazing. The birds, the floral motifs everywhere, fantastic. The colors, I am doing it in 103s. So I'll grab some of them. These are more of the browns and blues. Let's see if I can get a few of them up here for you. I was really, really excited about this one. So there's some of those colors. And then this bag, which I'm getting another one of these from, I think this one, yeah, these are So Much to Love bag. I got a special bag for it, of course, because I love bags. And then this fabric, I was like totally in love with. So you're going to see what I did because of this fabric. So we've got these beautiful reds, mauves, kind of peachy colors, gorgeous. I've got these beautiful beiges, golds, peachy golds. And here's one of the blues too. And here's the purples, pinks, and one of the blues. Gorgeous colors, just absolutely amazing. Love them. My mother was a gardener from the time I can ever remember. She was a single parent, so we didn't have a lot of money. So gardening was one way she supplemented our food. And obviously it was a good way because it was healthy food. We had a huge garden in town. It was literally almost the whole length. We had a really deep lot, so it was half of our lot, but it literally was the whole side of our house. Like it was the length of our house. We have a big house. It was technically a 2-bedroom house, but they made the front porch, they sealed it in and made it a bedroom. And it was just like our kitchen, dining room, living room was one whole row. And then on the other side, there was a bedroom, bathroom, bedroom, and then the front. That's all it was, and a basement. So it was a very small house. You knew who was home and what was going on. Let's say that much. But the whole length of the house, we had literally a garden, basically the length of the house, and not quite the width, but it was huge. My mom grew everything. We had a raspberry patch. She planted apple trees, pear tree. We had a huge old cherry tree in the back of our yard. Down the street on the corner, a friend of ours had a full-grown pear tree, so we would get pears from there. She had rhubarb. She had raspberries, of course, strawberry patch, and then all of the normal, vegetables and every kind of vegetable. My mom canned everything, made her own tomato sauce, salsa, you name it. My mom did that. Froze, you know, we had a big freezer downstairs. We froze everything. So we ate a lot out of what we grew. Other than meat, we didn't, you know, we bought other things at the store, but that way her money went further, let's say. So when this came out, I knew I had to stitch it. So I bought it and the threads from the attic. Got here really quick, which I was totally excited about. I knew I had in my stash what they had stitched it on, which is marbled khaki. So this is marbled khaki. It is very green gray. If you look at these together, I fell in love with the picture, which means I fell in love with the color this fabric looks like. This fabric does not look like that. Photography is very difficult, and I totally understand that. I already had this in my stash, so I was like, probably not going to use that. I put the colors on it. I was not a huge fan. Another one that actually I had bought before I knew that it was an alternative for this was Wood Smoke. So here is Wood Smoke by Tabbycat. I have a 40 and a 46 here. And it is a bit lighter, you can tell, a little more brown gray, but it is a very good substitute. Still not the color I'm looking for. So I was lucky enough to get some needle and flax fabric from Hobby House when she posts. It was great. On her Instagram, she'll post where she's sending her linens, which is fantastic. So I got on right away. There were some colors I wanted, so I thought I will try it. So the one that I have decided to use, sorry, a little crinkle because it does come in paper and I like to keep it with it. I have decided to use Thornfield. It's a 46 count. And I think it's a good match. There are, it is a very light linen, like an off-white, with what I would say are a brown, almost then into mauve modeling. Okay, and that's what I liked about it. Those purpley pink colors looked really, really good. Even the reds looked really good on this. So let me grab a few of these and hold them up. Hopefully you can see those. I thought those looked really good. Try again. So I'm going to show you, I got a couple others. I will say, I don't know if it's shrinkage or whatever, I would definitely count out the counts. I did go through, I left it in this one. Yeah, I did. I did go through, and I really should do this on all linen, especially over-dyed linen, and put in, to the side, put in your stitches 2 over 2 all the way across. I have not done down yet. I need to double check that. And the count, this one really does count out to right about 46, 45, 46. So it's pretty true. So I can hopefully count on that. I haven't, like I said, I haven't done the other side yet. Let me show you. This is Brea. It is, says when it came, it was a 46. You'll see this is a little bit more yellow, buttery with the modeling, similar modeling, a little more browny, doesn't show up as pinky. You can see that's the difference there. Now, when I counted this out, it counted more like a 42, 43, not a 46. I also got Dirty Teacup, and I will show you that with this, and I got that in a 40. So here is then Dirty Teacup. So you'll see light to dark, Dirty Teacup, Brea, and Thornfield. The Dirty Teacup ended up counting out about, I write down 41 or 42. So these two, so far, I have not gone to the other side. Now it could be more the other way on this one, since this was supposed to be a 46 and it's supposed to be a 40. But they were very similar. Also, I'm sure sometimes linen gets mixed up. It's very easy when you're talking about 40 and 46. But I don't really care. It's fine. Doesn't matter to me. It only matters when you need to make sure you have the right measurements to get the right cut when you're actually prepping your linen to use. So you know you have the right margins, because you don't want to be stuck with 3 inches over here and 1 over here, like if it's that much difference. So Nicola on Hands Across Sea did a really good video a while back on prepping your linen and getting a thread. So I do that a lot of times. I make sure one or two sides, one top and one bottom is square. So that way I can definitely know when I am coming in where that's going to be at. So I definitely try to do that a lot. She does it all the way around. I don't always do it all the way around. I do a 3-inch margin, especially on samplers. If I have one that isn't, then I would definitely square it up to make sure I am exactly in where I need to be. So Brea, Dirty Teacup, very, very pretty. The modeling has a lot of beautiful depth to it, the color depth. Speaking of different linens, I feel like these have a lot more subtle depth and are really, really beautiful. I'm very excited about some of these linens. She also has, if you go on her site, she has it broken up into just straight color, then modeling, and then one's modeling and one is called something else. But there are 3 different categories, which I think is very fun and interesting and different for a dyer. I haven't seen many like segregated that way. So this is the bag I bought from So Much to Love. This is a line of fabric from Anne of Green Gables. And I thought it was amazing and beautiful. I got and I like to put these on here because I stitch in hand. So sometimes if the bag is laying there, I'll put my needle on the bag right there. This is probably a scissor fob, but I went ahead and used it on the pole. This also came with a frogger in here. So these are by Sherry. She sells on Stash and Load and also has an Etsy. So hopefully I'll be able to link all of that for you. Our Stash Unloading Facebook page and Etsy. So I thought this went really, really well with it. Let me pull this one. This one's a bigger one. You can really see the hummingbird. But it reminded me of this bird here. So I thought this went really well together. So this is going to be a planned start, which literally my husband was like, I don't know how you're going to hold yourself back from starting this. I go, I don't know either. But I'm going to try. I have a friend, Mo. Hi, Mo. And she is definitely going to start this with me on my mother's birthday, which is March 30th. She would have been 70 this year. So this one is for my mom. I do have some plans to personalize this. Like I've done some other things. Many of you know, and I'll be showing you because I'm not going to get a separate floss tube done for my Jessie Watson Autism Sal, how I personalize that. I have that to show you all. Sorry, I had some... Can I tell you, making sure not everything falls on the floor while you're trying to do this, not an easy job. So part of my plan is at the very top up here, there are a row of numbers. Those are going to be taken out. And I'm going to put my mother's name there. I've already kind of charted it out. Down at the bottom, I have plans to do her birth year under that middle motif. The purple side here, I'm going to put my initials and probably her initials then over here. It could change, but right now that is my plan. And I could add or whatever. But love this sampler. If anyone wants to join me in the start on March and you have this in your stash or want to do it, let me know, tag me. I might come up with a hashtag for it. I haven't decided, but I'll definitely be posting progress on my Instagram. And I'm sure there's already a hashtag for the memories of the past. I don't know if that's just generally used, but I probably will use memories of the past SAL, S-A-L. And if anyone wants to join in, that would be awesome. I know there's a few of you who have bought it and have been posting it and are excited about it. So, and I think I've even seen a couple people start, so awesome. I'm going to go ahead and finish with a couple of the other fabrics I got since they're all laid out and I can kind of show you the difference. I did end up getting from Tabbycat some creme brulee. I got 40 and 46. Okay. And I also got some seraphim from someone, a different person, the prairie grass. So you can see that. And I also got from Fabrics by Stephanie some Princess Buttercup. I really thought it was going to be a little more yellow. It's a little more of an orangey yellow. It's still really pretty, but I might dull it down just a little bit. It's a really pretty color. Actually, it'd be great for some spring things, which might not do it with all of it, but it's really, really pretty. So those are some linens I got. Okay, let me show you the bundle of fabric that I pieced together from different places. So because I loved that fabric line so much, I ended up getting all of the floral motifs. I did not get any of the, they have one that looks like a newsprint. They have one with the Anne and the family of the house. And so there's things like that that said Anne of Green Gables. I wasn't necessarily interested in those. They're beautiful and I love the books. I've watched some of the movies that have been made about her. Great, but I just wanted all of the florals. And I absolutely think they're gorgeous. So I got them all. I got a yard of each. Don't know what I'm going to do with them yet. You all know I've never quilted. I've made bags. I've been doing some things like that, but someday I will do something with those. But I knew if I didn't get those fabrics now, I would regret it. And I still, because I do think I will make a quilt someday, I am going to pick one of them, probably one of the floral motifs, the tighter, darker floral motifs. Might even be this one. It's really pretty. And get some extra yardage of that to do a backing. So I need to research how much I need. I don't know if it's 3 to 5, somewhere in there. So I'll ask a quilter, ask a couple of my quilting friends, how much do I need? I don't know. I also want to thank so many of you that reached out to me this past month. And I don't know if some of you know, but I actually ended up I saw my mom on the 18th of January, that evening, Tuesday evening. I started to feel sick. So Wednesday morning, I had a sore throat, stuffiness. Went to the doctor, ended up being diagnosed with COVID. So then I obviously couldn't go see her. And she ended up passing the following Monday on the 24th. So that night was the last night I had seen her. I will say my mom may not even know how often I was there at the end. Weeks before, when we were in the hospital and they told us that things that were going on were inoperable and we needed to, bring in hospice, that she was more coherent then, could speak some, had very limited mobility though. And so I felt good that I got to spend that time with her too, that she knew I was there and that we were taking care of her and we loved her. So I just wanted to say thank you to all the people. These are all the wonderful cards I've gotten. These are not just from family, but I want to say how many wonderful stitchy friends I have who reached out to me, sent me different things, cards, lovely messages through Messenger, Instagram, whatever. I feel so blessed that so many people actually took the time to do that and to tell me that they were thinking of me, praying for me and my family. And thank you so much. I'm going to try not to cry. All right. Let's move on to some fun stuff. I think in between this, I'll show you what I have bought, the rest of the stuff I bought. But we're going to go through my New Year, New Start. So I did get the Book of Days. I've been doing pretty good. January is pretty good. I'm writing some stuff down. I did go ahead on the side part here. I wrote all of my whips that I have going on right here. On the other months, I actually wrote in things that I want to actually start. So this is so unlike last year where I didn't have hardly any new starts. This year, I'm going to have like 1 to 4 per month or more. many of them are smalls, so my goal is to finish them. I did finish 3 that I started in January. I have not started February's. We'll get into what's going to happen with February in a minute and how I'm going to probably have to roll that into some other time. So the big New Year starts, I did 2. So I thought I wanted to stitch Elizabeth Isles for quite a while. So I went ahead and started it for Brenda's big birthday bash start. So the first time I saw this chart was with Lindy Stitches. She was stitching it, and the phrase is comical. Girl's 9 years old. All of you, my friends, who now expect to see a piece of work thus performed by me, cast but a smile on this, my mean endeavor, ill strife to mend, and be obedient, ever Elizabeth Isles. Is that just the sassiest little girl you've ever? And then just the funness of the whole sampler. Of course, everyone, the bird is amazing. I love the floral motifs. The cherubs are wonderful. So I have started this. Mine is on a little bit deeper fabric. I did use the chart inside for the DMCs to kind of match up what I wanted. I have a few DMCs I'm going to use because they're just perfect. But I did do like an over dye floss conversion of my own. At some point I might post some of the colors. I am not necessarily using this one color for every equivalent to every symbol. So this may be used just where I want to use it. Right now, these actually, I think, I'm gonna have to look. I've only done part of the outside border, so I haven't gone very far with this. I started it that day. I think I worked on it 1 or 2 other times. And then of course I moved on because that's what happens. But the colors that I picked, I think are really, really, really pretty. I do have this one DMC here, but I also pulled Capri, which I think is a pretty blue. A lot of mauve-y, pinky colors in there. So anyway, we'll see how that works. I have no idea, but I'll do a little New Zealand twist here. But they're really pretty colors. Really, really pretty. I am doing this on a 40 count. I'm going to double check what color just to make sure. Rustic driftwood. So mine is a darker color. It is a brown. It is a beautiful brown, and I am excited to see how this will turn out. This is going down on the side. So far, I love how it's looking. I do have some flosses coming for the faces. So I am going to be changing that up a little bit and doing some multicolors. There was one from Xjude that I can't remember what it's called. I might have to link it below, but it has like a variegating from pale to a little bit darker. I think there's only 4, which I might substitute some other things in there too, some other DMC to get some more variation. But that way I'll have multicultural cherubs around this. And I am doing the whole chart. I love that down here like so much. Love, love, love. So anyway, if you want to see Lindy Stitches finished, you should go check her Flosstube out because I believe she shows it in her Flosstube and it's amazing. So I did start that. I also started, because as soon as I saw this, it reminded me and made me feel, I have a lot of connections to charts. It made me feel just at home. It reminded me a little bit of being at my grandparents. Just the look of this antique piece, A Child's Petition. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, but it is a beautiful, beautiful verse, poem, whatever you want to call it. This is by Cross Stitch Antiques. Okay, Kathleen Littleton. She's amazing. Check her out. So I bought the kit from her. And I decided that it's silk Dalgé. Oh no, wait, needlepoint ink. Sorry, this one's needlepoint ink. Yeah, needlepoint ink silks. So they're all in little baggies. I just use snack baggies. When I do these, I put the symbol, I put the MPI and the number. And usually, like this one I've already started to use, I'll leave the tag in there and I cut it to the length I want it and just start using it. I will say it takes more time to pull it in and out, but this has a lot of colors, so it's just, for me, a little better. I probably should categorize them maybe on a couple of rings, which I'm thinking about doing, like just real small rings, just putting some on there. This is on Vintage Sand Dune by Lakeside. It came with the kit. My kit is, I may have to look, I believe I'm doing this on 40 count. I think I decided because of the 1/1. Yes, there's the verses, I believe. Yep, 40 count. Pretty sure the verse is 1/1 that I was gonna do 40. And I'll probably start the verse as I go, so it's not too hard. But this is what I have so far, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I am so excited about this. Actually, I might have to stitch on this a little bit later today because I haven't stitched on it in a while, and seeing it is making me want to stitch on it. But it's gorgeous. So this is this top corner right over here. But it's so pretty. It's stitching up amazing. If you want to check out Instagram, Roxy Floss is stitching this with me too. A few other of my remote stitcher friends. So if you go to hashtag remote stitchers, you can see what we're all stitching. They are amazing ladies. I've said this before. You have friends on Instagram, you have friends through other media, social media outlets. If you go to a retreat, start Zooming together, get to know each other. We are all stitchers. We have a lot in common. You went to those retreats or you're looking at those hashtags or whatever for a reason. It's because you have things in common. Connect. This is such a great positive way to connect and to use social media in a positive way. And I have definitely more so benefit from it than I ever thought I would. And I'm so glad that I stepped out of my comfort zone and did those things. I'm in 2 different Zoom groups that came from online retreats, and we just started Zooming afterwards and meeting up once a week. And one of them ended up being twice a week. And now this weekend, we're having a whole finishing fun quote class that we just set up times to Zoom, and we can learn from each other, see what each other is finishing, and trying to get some of those stitch projects into fully finished objects. So I'll show you a couple things that I plan on working on today. And I'm excited. I'm excited because these friendships aren't just about stitching anymore. They're about real life, and that's what's super important. And the connections that I've made with women who are positive, reinforcing, and loving, and genuinely care about each other has really changed my perspective of relationships and how I can better myself in relationships and going forward with the rest of my life, because I didn't have that before now with many women. And with the things that have happened in my life recently and in the past 5 years, it's become more and more apparent to me that I need those connections and these women in my life. And I hope they get as much from me as I know I get from them. My PSA for the day. Okay, let's move on because I might cry. So let's talk about what my plans were. So January, I had my whole goal, as I was very inspired by Michelle McGraw on Instagram and her Flosstube, just about her last year of smalls and how many she got done. And I am always going to be drawn towards bigger pieces, samplers. I will never lose that. I will keep working on them, but I do also love smalls. I mean, I love having them around and want to have more of them around, and I don't. So my goal was to get some of those done. So these are the 3 items that I started in January, and I'm proud to say that I finished stitching them. 2 of them in January, 1 of them at the beginning of February. So the first one I started, and these are small samplings collections that Beth Twist of Heartstring Sampler put out on her website. You could get them as fully kits, partial kits, and she was going to have 4 of them. And from what I understand, I'm hoping, I haven't seen her sneak peek releases, but she had talked about that this will be released in a booklet with 3 more. So a total of 6 samplers, I believe, in the booklet that are smalls that are in her collection. So I decided to do this one. This one is Esther Cannon. And this is, she gives you a postcard of the original. So I have that. You can tell this was done on Ale by Picture This Plus 32 count. I decided to do it on a, or 32 count. I decided to do it on a 36 count Weeks Dye Works Old Weeks Dove. And I really should have something to put behind it. Let's use my book. Because Old Weeks, as you know, is a little more see-through. So here is my finish. So Dove is a green color. I use the called for floss, which are Weeks Dye Works Juniper and Dirt Road. And I love that she just like switched colors right in the middle of this K. I think that's adorable. I love that she did her eyelets here for her for her initials. So just as a really quick, sweet. You do have to be a little careful. She was not as precise, like some of these, and her border would be 3 instead of 2. Like it wasn't, just be careful. That's what I have to say. It's not uniform. So it was a sweet sampler. I love doing the more, you know, script kind of alphabet. That was fun instead of just the regular. This is, to me, is like the regular. A lot of them have this similar alphabet. I think I could do some of them by heart now, or at least get pretty close. If you've done enough samplers, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, so I started and I finished that. I will say I started all 3 kind of around the same, not exactly the same time. Let's see here. This one I started on, I'm sure I'm showing you in the order that I started. So in the back, I am putting my starts, and then I usually put the dates that I finished. I also have it on the Xstitch app. I've been trying to get that updated. I added a ton of charts and mostly charts. I don't have all the flosses in there. I probably should work on that someday, but that's all right. I did start that after my 2 New Year starts. That was on the 2nd, and I finished on the 25th. So I did a lot of this stitching when I would go visit my mom. This was easy stitching. I did some in the hospital. So I'll probably always have that memory with me too. I do have the other 3 planned, or the other 2 planned for this year, and I did get partial kits. This one doesn't have fabric yet. This one I do have fabric for. So I have Anne Whitaker 1827, which I think is very springy and fun. And I have the flosses in this beautiful fabric. It's a very butternut type color, like a light butternut. It's actually similar to this one. I don't think it's the same, but it's similar. And then I have E.A. Selleck 1824. I know a bunch of people had done this when it came out, so I will be excited to do it later. And also in these kits, she gave little extra accoutrements. So these were great to get. I'm very excited for the book. I'm going to put this back in here. And I have this in this cute floral bag, but I just put all of them together in one bag so then I can do them. And I'm going to take a short break because my dog needs to go to the restroom. All right, back. It's earlier in the morning than I usually do these. It's a little after 9, so my daughter just woke up. My dog sleeps with her at night, or now the family dog. So my daughter just got up and so fed and took the dog out. Anyway, we'll resume and I'll move on. You don't want to hear about all that. So the next start I had was the Be Mine Biscornu by Heartstring Samplery. If you've watched me for a while, you know last year I did the Brown Bird Biscornu from Heartstring Samplery. I love her Biscornus. They're amazing. They are not for the faint of heart as far as they're stitched on 40. You could stitch them on a lower, lower count of like 32 or 36, whatever. Just know that these are big Biscornus. If you do that, they'll be even bigger. The Brown Bird was 101 by 101, which is it's not that big, but for a Biscornu, when you start putting it together, you got to remember you're stitching 101 on each side around when you're whip stitching that together. It's a lot. It takes a while. This one, I believe, is 107 by 107. So this one's even a little bigger, but it's so cute. I love it. I did switch out, I believe it called for beige for the whitish off-white color. Yes, Weeks Dye Works beige. I ended up switching mine to Eggshell by Classic Colorworks. My fabric is different. It is stitched on R&R Stars Hollow, 36 count. I did do mine on 40 count, so it's just like the other one. And I'm using the same fabric, so it is Zweigart, just the Platinum Zweigart. It has a good, one thing with Biscornu is you really want to make sure that the weft and the warp are as close to the same stitch count as possible, because this is a square. You need it to be a square when it's done for each one of them. And when you put them together, you need it to be that way. The other thing is make sure, I've cut my two pieces apart, but they were one piece straight across. So when I put them together, I want to make sure that they are, as square as possible. Now, they're not perfect because obviously no fabric is going to be perfectly the same, but keeping that in mind when picking your fabric is going to be important. So the colors, the rest of the colors are the called for, which are really, really pretty. I did not change any of those. This is what it looks like on there. One thing I did not do is I believe in this center there was an X there, but I might put it in just so I know where the center is. I have not done that yet. So I started with the top, which last time I started with the bottom, but I started with the top because it does have more stitching and it is so cute. Look how adorbs that is. I'm not sure that the white of the envelope is showing up, but in person it shows up. So it's very cute. And then here is the back. So right here, I'll probably end up putting an X just so I know where that middle stitch is. And eventually when I start putting this together, I'm going to probably mark the centers of both of these. I might actually start today at least to put some interfacing on the back. I probably will reinforce this center section a little bit. Not sure exactly how. I may just put a thicker interfacing on all of it. But it is so cute. I know that Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch started this too. It's just so cute. I love it. Jen from Too Tall Stitchers is doing the poppy one, which I can't remember what it's called, the name of it. So check her out. And it's really going to be cute too. I have that one and I also have her other one, which I don't have them with me. So anyway, I'll be doing those for sure. So I have these in my Valentine bag. So I did the So Much to Love for a year. I wanted to get some seasonal holiday kind of bags. And so in here, I have other charts that are kind of, Valentine-ish. I also have a bunch of the freebie charts, which I can't really show you, but I have a kind of a stack of different charts in here. So then I can hopefully do some of these and get some of those smalls, right? That was the goal. So not all of them are going to be just generic smalls like you could have out any time, but that I have some seasonal ones too. So last year I ended up getting all of the Sunday stitches. This was the January one, and I'm going to stitch all of them this year, hopefully one a month. I have no idea. We'll see. This was supposed to be on 32 count Oaken with Campfire, Gunmetal, and Loden. I did not use any of those colors or that fabric, but I love how it turned out. So I ended up using Razzleberry by Classic Colorworks, a limited edition Gentle Arts called Woolly Bear. It's just a kind of a reddy brown. When you look at browns, you can kind of see some are a little more gray, or when you look at color, it's not just that, it's not just brown, but what are the base color that they started with? What is that? Just like when you look at reds, there are some reds that are a little more on the orangey red side compared to what I call a blue undertone side, which I like the blue undertone sides. I'm more in that camp. It's just me. And then I used Bullfrog by Weeks Dye Works, which has a lot of nice variegation. So my threads look awful, but these are the colors I use. Can you tell? You can tell I've like got everything everywhere. I am going to keep these in the bag, and I'll show you. I have all of these later in a bag. I will be mixing up what colors and things I do these on. I do want them a bit smaller, so I am doing, mine is on a 40 count by Dixie Sampler in Olive Leaf. So here is my finished stitch. I think it's pretty cool. Love how it turned out. I love the variegation in the Bullfrog. I love the berry red on the berries, and I think the brown verse looks really nice. And I like it on this deeper fabric. Now the fabric doesn't have the variegation that Oaken would have, but I think it's really, really pretty, and it goes well with the colors. So that is the first one. I will go into more of those later when I go over what I'm going to be stitching for February, which is almost over. So let's see. I didn't say Brownbird Biscornu. I started on the 15th, and I finished that on 2/4. I guess I only finished one in actual month. The Sunday stitches, which was right there, I started on 1/26 and I finished it on 2/11. So not too bad. Anyway, I had a lot going on, obviously, that month. There were some days where I didn't really stitch a lot when I was sick. There were a couple of days that were definitely more difficult, so I didn't get a lot done. I did stitch some. One thing I did stitch on was Newcastle Bouquet, because when Teresa Koget put out that she is doing a Biscornu for the Newcastle Bouquet, I went crazy, and I literally called my shop and said, "You're going to market, I need this." Like, I need it, have to have it. So I did pull out Newcastle Bouquet, and you can see on my Instagram, I didn't pull it. Sorry about that, I forgot. And I stitched some of the leaves in a flower. So I did work on it a little bit for a couple of days, which was really nice. But yeah, that is my January, which feels pretty good. I have no plans on how or what or when I'm doing any of my other whips that I still have from last year. Seems very contrary to what I was trying to do last year, right? Stitcher's prerogative. I am thinking about doing what I kind of did a little bit last year, which was with some of the whips, just spending at least like an hour each day on one of the whips. I just randomly I could pick. I may put them on some kind of like a chart or list, so that way at least I'm touching all of them at least once this coming year. That would be nice. I'm not saying I'll have any finishes with them unless something like really calls to me, and then I'm like, hey, I'm just gonna throw this in at some point, then I might do that, but not so far. I still need to fill out some of February's. I need to get back and get that filled out for what I worked on. But a lot of it was finishing up all of those Januaries. You know, at least I got 3 that I started done. Now 5. Not bad. I feel pretty good. I got 3 finishes so far. I think last year I had a lot of finishes just for the fact that I was finishing those whips, and some whips didn't have hardly anything left to do. Towards the middle to the end of the year, it would take a lot longer to get those whips done. So then I changed my focus, if you remember, and concentrated on the 5 samplers I wanted to finish. There is one that I would like to make sure I get done, since I did commit to that, and I would really like to finish her. That would be my Holland sampler by Jeanette Douglas. So I don't have it to show right now. I cleaned up my room finally, put a bunch of stuff away, organized a bunch of stuff, and I'll tell you partly why. A, because it needs done, but there's another reason. So we'll see. I also have a fun new start for my birthday that I am going to start. I have a couple of starts then that I really want to start. I love Americana stitching, as you all know. So another friend of mine has a birthday in July also. I believe hers is maybe the 2nd. I'll have to double check. Oh, I don't remember now. Anyway, I'll talk about that later too when it's getting closer. We haven't decided what we're stitching. I'll go into that later. It's Catherine stitching in costume, and I think she has a new Flosstube out this weekend too, so go check her out. But she's a sweet, dear person, and been a newly found stitchy friend. And since we have birthdays the same month, we're like, hey, you want to do a birthday style together? And she's like, yes, sign me up. She goes, I know you have more, stash in that area than I do, so I'm going to go over and take some pictures of a bunch of the ones I have and say, hey, do you have this, or would you want to even stitch this? So right now I'm not looking at a giant one to start, so I hope Catherine's okay with that. I already have two. I have 2 big ones already started, that I think 2, maybe a third, I don't remember, that are big, that are Americana. So I don't know if I need another big one, but it'd be nice to have another like medium size, or even one that has like a couple components that you could do a couple smalls with as a start. That'd be great. Okay, that was a tangent. So let's go through a couple of things I have bought. I only pulled a few things. I've not shown you what I bought for probably like 3 months, so there's no way I can show you everything. But I've kind of decided that I needed to do this series, and it was mostly because I saw people doing it, and I thought, well, that's really cute. Do I need another like series to do? Do I need another whatever? But I'm like, well, it's a small. It wouldn't be so bad to do. So I was at my cross stitch store in town. It's also a quilt store. They have other fiber arts. So I saw it and I thought, yep, I'm going to get it. I had a gift card from my sister-in-law who buys it for me for Christmas every year. It was like $25. I obviously probably spent a bit more than that. But anyway, so then I had to get from the Heart NeedleArt by Wendy the February Quaker they had in stock. So I was like, it's adorable. I'm going to do these. I really, really like them. And one way I like them because they're just a nod to the season and the month. And they're not like blatant. So I really enjoy that. But she puts, things in there like this has little hearts. And it's the colors, I did change one color on this. It called for Classic Colorworks. I think all these are done in Classic Colorworks. This one's Strawberry Parfait, Joshua Tree, and Shelley Green. I might have Joshua Tree over here. See, I also picked up, because I thought, well, I'm going to do them all. I'll pick up a few other colors for them. Maybe I didn't pick up that color. Joshua Tree was a little light for me, green-wise. And I thought I really wanted it to stand out maybe a little bit more. And just for my color taste, I ended up adding in Little Sprout by Classic Colorworks. So I'm going to do it in those 3. So I think those will look amazing. So then, of course, they didn't have January, so I had to have them order it. So I got January in, and I'm going to do those with the called for. I pulled those out, and here are the called for blues. I already had an older blacksmith blue, so you'll see that it says Crescent Colors. I picked up some old Crescent Colors from somebody, like just a couple of bags worth. She had them sorted by colors, and so I picked up, I think, 3 or 4 different color lots. So it's nice just to use those to add in other places, or like here, it's called for, it's just an older die lot, that's all. So then, of course, I picked up, just show you in the bag here, some for the next couple. And the one that's coming out for, I think, May, really pretty because there's purple in it. So that was great. And I picked up, when I was there, a friend of mine was there, so I saw her for a few minutes, and she had like probably an 1/8 of this. And it is Weeks Dye Works. It's the old base, but it's garnet. And I think it's just so beautiful. So I picked up about half of this. It's super, super pretty. So I'm thinking some Valentine stuff, even some Christmas stuff, because I go towards more, I mean, I like the red, but like the Aztec red, some of it's a little more of the, like I said, an orangey red. This is more of that blue tone, undertone, the garnet. I like that feel. So I'm really excited about that. All right, I also picked up, finally, which I've been wanting, is Annie Morris. And I already have this color, so I need to get the other ones. I need to double check and make sure I don't have them in something else, because this shouldn't take a lot of thread. I haven't pulled anything else, but I have that, so I'm excited about that. I also picked up this cute, this was from Shepherd's Needle, and I don't know if it's an exclusive to them or not, but I thought it was really, really, really cute. It's Gather Ye Rosebuds While Ye May. It comes with this vintage locket. This is by the Purple Thread. It also comes with you can make this little pin. There's a little extra. So it's a little strawberry. So it comes with everything you need. This locket right down here is in there. I've opened it. It actually opens and you can put something in it, a picture or whatever. And then you can make this little pin on the back. Adorable, right? So I picked that up because I really thought it was cute. My friend Roxy was stitching this, another cross stitch antiques, and on Zoom many times, and I keep watching it, she keeps showing it, and I'm like, I am so in love with that. So I had to get it. It's Mary Green. Okay, so pretty. Those motifs. Mary Green, Ashton School 1846. I bought the whole kit because Kathleen will kit it up in PI silks, 46 count straw, Zweigert base. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous. Look at those reds. There is a little bit of orange there. The blue, this light blue, is really going to be beautiful and pop. Amazing, gorgeous. Coral colors. Really, really, really pretty. So I picked that up. I've shown you before the Stacy Nash drum kit that I got. This is a exclusive club kit from, why am I forgetting now? No, let me just double check here. It's right in here. From Country Sampler. Not that I'm in that many clubs, but still. So love it. We got this, we have a stand that we can put them on. So there are going to be, I think there's 3 of them. I don't know if there's 4. I thought there was only 3. So this one was a little late, obviously, because of getting all the materials and things that need to be made. But this one is Wonderful Life Pin Keep Drum. I love it. Came with the top, came with the bell that her daughter made. It came with, I believe it's Beige by Weeks Dye Works. linen and these beautiful Weeks Dye Works threads. So yeah, the waxer by Taylor. Got all the stuff you need. I may have to get a few pins to be able to put that in. There's the back side. It also, it doesn't show here, but on it, it's stitched It's a Wonderful Life. So I am totally excited about that kit. I really need to start these. I don't have these in my plans right now, but they may have to get added later. I don't have a lot in the December time because I do want to decide then like what kind of Christmas ornaments and things I want to do. I also got, I'm in the club from Country Sampler, the Threads of History. So I got the Scarlet House, Jane Charlotte Lynn, 1835. I love it. Very, very pretty. And of course, this is on, I believe, Straw by Weeks, and then Weeks threads. The only thing I'm not sure of is, you all know hopefully I've said this, I'm not a big orange person. And I really think the border actually is like a little heart border. Can you see the little hearts? I honestly think I might switch that out and do it a little bit more of a berry red. So I'll have to look at it and see what kind of color would go with the rest of these colors. So I got that. And then had to go over to 1884 Stitchery and pick up, as everyone else probably did, ES Spot Motif Sampler. Beautiful. Seen a lot of people stitching it. The other one I wanted for a while was she started with the recharting the Macintosh samplers, and the Jane Harris one really, really caught my eye. The colors are beautiful. That big motif here, I love that. So I picked that up, and then she had a Birds of a Feather kindness sampler, and you guys know how much I love just people being kind. So I picked that up. I probably won't do it in exactly those colors, but I think it's pretty awesome in the big flower. Depending on the actual colors, like that's probably part of Tiger's Eye and Terracotta. So I probably will switch those out with something a little more berry colored too. I think will be really pretty. So those are my purchases. Why don't I go on to my other couple of starts? Well, my one start. I did have one more start. It's a special one, and then I'll talk about Jessie Watson. We'll go into plans and maybe some finishing things I'm hopefully going to get done. I'm already an hour in, so might need to speed it up. So I got Ruskin's penguins from Modern Folk Embroidery a while ago. I put off starting it because I had this thing in the back of my mind that kept telling me that this year will be July is my 50th birthday. So yes, my mom would be 70. I would be 50, and my grandmother, her mother, actually turns 90 this year in July too. So we're all 20 years apart. Kind of a big year for us. And along with that is my 25th wedding anniversary in October. So I've decided to make this an anniversary stitch. And I know some of you are like, what? My husband and I, when we got married, one thing we kind of brought into the marriage was he had some things that were penguin associated. I had some things that were penguin associated from various things. And so at Christmas, we decorated our first year with these penguin things we had because it was the only like seasonal stuff I really had. So from there, it kind of blossomed. And so at Christmas, I have penguin themed Christmas decorations in my family room, from wall tapestries to rugs to pillows to throws to wall art to stuffed animals, to tchotchkes. I have some wooden penguins that are really beautiful. So singing, the musical ones. So literally, it's like penguins threw up in there. So I really thought this was apropos to us because, when my husband looks at me, he can't really get angry. I don't know why. But he's not an angry person. He is a very loving, caring person. Even though he doesn't seem like it when people first meet him, he is kind of standoffish. He has a very dry sense of humor. I've asked him to come on because we're so opposite, and I don't know, penguins mate for life. I really love this. So I am changing it up a little bit. So it was, I bought it with the threads, not the fabric, but with the threads, the Leo and Roxy, let's see, weathered white and chalkboard, which are great. If you haven't stitched with their threads, they're wonderful. And then I added in, I had gotten some other Leo Roxy threads, my Funny Valentine, which I thought was apropos. And the variegation is beautiful in this. Hopefully you can really see. There's like some really pale violet white to dark purple into pinks and stuff. So I ended up seeing another friend of mine stitch on this fabric, and I had been looking for some fabric. I also bought a special bag for it because you got to have a penguin bag. And I believe, and I want to make sure I get the name of the fabric right because I have not written this down yet. Chart. Here it is. And so I asked her, I said, what is that? And so it was hand dyed by Rolanda Fabrics. Here is her info. Try to link it below. And so I messaged her and I said, I really would like some of this color. It's called Victorian Rose. I ended up getting it in 30, 60, and 40 because sometimes the color variation can be a little different, and it didn't really matter to me which count I stitched it in, but whichever one I did, I wanted it to kind of have that right look. And so I started stitching that. So I changed the heart border. I used that, my Funny Valentine. I haven't, these are actually going to be filled in. So I'm going to stitch a little bit with a white and a black and see which one I like best. I am kind of changing the chart a little bit. I'm going to move the penguins up a little. So we can put our names down here, and I will probably somewhere put our year. I may even do it like in the corners, take these out and do the month and then date and then the year on one side. And I think in through here, hopefully I'll have enough room. I may have to move this up slightly, but I would like to put 25 in here. And then the snowflakes, I'm going to redo them just slightly and make them heart snowflakes. So I've gonna try to rechart those and redo that a little bit. And I may do a mixture of the white and the purple. I haven't decided. I believe I might do something special with the white diamonds here, maybe a specialty stitch. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do these, this kind of sawtooth border. I'm gonna do that in satin stitches. So I have a few ideas, let's just say. But I'm excited to do this. And it's not very big. As you can see, it's not a huge sampler. This is on 40. I did decide to do the 40. And I think it's going to be really beautiful. And shh, it's a secret. My husband doesn't watch this. If he's not going to be on it, he can watch it. He thinks I'm crazy anyway. He thinks we're all crazy, by the way. So I am very excited. I think this is going to be, and I think that white is really going to look pretty on here too. I think it's a good color to show up. So that is going to be my anniversary stitch. So I got a lot already done. I'll be working on it throughout the year. I'll probably put it away for a little while and work on a couple other things. And then I am totally caught up on Jessie Watson's out. So thank you all who have stitched with me. Some have finished, some are still stitching with me. What I have left is just the eyelet hearts. So I will be starting that in March and then finishing it on his birthday on the 11th. We're hoping to bring him home on that Friday before his birthday. His birthday is on a Monday. Have a big birthday, 20th birthday party for him. And I'm just excited to celebrate that with him. I'm hoping it all works out and nobody's sick and people will want, you know, family will be able to come and enjoy that and be around him. So if you don't know this pattern, this is Jessie Watson, 1816 by Hands Across the Sea. I have added and updated the initials to be family, put my son's name in over here, and then I have taken her name out and I have put our both of our last names. So then if anyone would want to try to find who these people are, it might be a little easier. What really struck me about this, and the reason I did it for my son, was the eyelet heart was the big thing. It kind of reminded me of the autism puzzle piece colored heart. Um, so that remembrance, also that just the home, um, that my son doesn't live with us right now, and we would love to have him back home because of some of the behaviors he has. That is just not feasible at this time, and that's why he lives where he lives. So people can help and keep him safe. We were not able to do that. We both have to work full-time jobs. My son is going to be 20. That means he is taller than me, bigger than me, and he was getting a little more physical. I will say that becoming a teenager and going through puberty was and is very difficult for him. It really made it difficult for him to understand feelings and emotions. And I think they're so intense and so strong, even for regular, quote, typical children, let alone somebody who has a disability and has issues comprehending what's happening, which he does. He can read anything, but to really fully comprehend and understand things is difficult for him. He's more like a younger child still. The forethought to think ahead and think through other people isn't quite there. A lot of children start to get that around age 7 or 8 and develop that through their teenage and early 20s, right? Like that's a part of growing up, and it's a huge part of growing up, is to be able to empathize and think things through and out and understand them in different concepts in different ways. My son doesn't necessarily have that ability, and I'm not so sure he'll really ever fully get that ability. And definitely makes it difficult to get older and grow up when all of those hormones are going on. So I am very hopeful that once that dies down, sometime in his 20s, that, and he can control and deal with those feelings in a positive way, that then we can bring him back home. And so that's why the big house too is a wonderful symbol. It's just being at home. So anyway, that was rambling. If you've been following along, we started in April. April is Autism Awareness Month. It is also my son's birthday month. His is on the 11th. So April, May, June, July, August. We did September, October, November, December. This was January. February was the house. So I have caught up to all that. And then this will be March/April. So I am ready to show you. Hey, Jessie, what? Stitch. I am so in love with this. I am stitching on a 46 count Baby Sheep by Xjude. I am using a floss conversion that you can get from Vicki Clayton Silks. Her silks are wonderful to work with. I think a very good buy for the price, and they're really just gorgeous. So I finally figured out how to fit both of our names in and a symbol to separate them. I decided to do eyelet, since this is a Scottish sampler. I did the eyelet stitch for the first letters of each last name. My husband's last name is Renault, so that's my son's last name, my last name now. My maiden name was Wheeler. So my parents are divorced, so we do have a different last name initial here, but I didn't obviously want to add that. That wasn't a part of my son's heritage, as far as, he never had that last name. But I have all of his grandparents up here. And then going into my initials, my husband's and my daughter's initials, and then my son's name, which is Ayrton, AarYton. And then all I have left is this beautiful eyelet heart. And I will be excited to do that. But she's a gorgeous sampler, just gorgeous. And I'm really pleased with the way this came out at the bottom. My son's favorite color is red, so it was already in that color red. I just left it. but I did have to kind of like splice some different alphabets together, cut off, you know, that I think on the ends she could have added, there was like one spot over, but I just worked it out, worked it through, and I think it fit really, really nicely. And then this little symbol here is actually used up here in between each of some of the family initials. So this is one grandparent. And then up here, this is one grandparent, and then I put that in there too. So I would separate them by kind of like families. So anyway, that's Jessie, and she is caught up, and I am ready to go in March. I needed to get her done a little bit earlier, which I will talk about in a minute with my plans. Just coming up next, actually. Here are and I finally got the, I don't know if I got this before, but I got the Jessie Watson thread drop. And here are the beautiful colors. Gorgeous. I also got some others. These, let me open these up. Needle minders, or what are they? From Socks for Mod, the Thread Keeps. I ended up getting a couple of the other samplers. So this is the Alexander's. I love it. I do have that chart and it's kitted. And then this one is, oh, which one is that? I actually have this one on order. You guys are going to scream the name to me, but I can't remember right now. But here, the one with that big, beautiful, I think it's Jane, maybe, Jane something, with that big, beautiful floral motif. Anyway, love that. So I got those. So, yeah. That's from Becky. Those are great. Pick those up. All right, so plans. So February, I was supposed to start already, which I hadn't done. Obviously, a lot has been going on. I went back to work on the 31st, pretty much a week after my mom passed away. I had a lot to do in that week and the following 2 weeks. I worked a full week, and then the following week, I ended up taking the Friday off, which we were supposed to go see my son. We're supposed to go see my son the week my mom passed away. I actually had that off on vacation, but I was sick the whole time. So obviously I couldn't go and see him. And then the following week, he ended up being sick and he got COVID. So that Friday was their last day that they were, quote, on lockdown in their facility because of it. So I couldn't go see him then. The following week, I took some bereavement days on my husband's days off. He doesn't work a Monday through Friday job. He has a rotation. So every third week he has a Tuesday and Wednesday off. So I took those off, and then we went to see my son on that Tuesday. So that was great. I got to see him, and it had been a while. So that was wonderful. It was a beautiful day. It was nice out. It was sunny. We took walks. We actually took him to get some more notebooks to the store. So it was really wonderful visit with him. And then that week was this last week. And I worked just Monday and then Thursday and Friday. So I was trying to wrap everything up at work because I will be having surgery on Monday and I will be off work for 6 to 8 weeks. And I would say probably that first week I might not be stitching at all. I was supposed to have the surgery on the 7th, but it got pushed 2 weeks because I had COVID. They want you to be at least a month out from having COVID before you have surgery. And I am staying overnight, but not a 24-hour stay. It's like a less than 24-hour stay. So anyway, I may not be getting a ton of stitching done in the last part of February. So some of February / March, April, I'm going to have to like combine some of those to get them done. But I'm going to show you what I want to start. I have some of the stuff put together. So I love if you haven't checked out Country Rustic Primitives by Jenny Hoffman, It's great. So here's the one I'm going to do. She has a lot of DMC, but you obviously can sub out for whatever you want. I really like the simplicity of some of hers. I think they'll be easy and quick to do. And so I bought several of hers to make some smalls with. I am going to do this on a 36 count though, because I like 36 a little bit better, so I can use one strand. And this only called for, I think, maybe 3 flosses, I want to say. Let me look. Oh, maybe 5. Not very many. It's St. Patrick's Day pillow tuck. So here's a closer picture. Hers are all like downloads. And it's just cute and simple. You know, primitive. I pulled a few flosses and I have some others that I'm going to need to look at and pull. But I pulled, oh, here's Joshua Tree. I pulled Havana, Oscar, and Driftwood just for some of the basic colors. Very rustic. I haven't decided the birds, which I need to look at the DMC, I think are maybe a khaki green, 3011. I think a little bluish, like a steely blue to me. So I don't know. I'm going to have to look at it and see what I think. But I pulled a 36 Colonial Parchment Fabrics by Stephanie, which I think will lend itself really well to some of these colors. So we'll see. I just pulled those last night. That is one that I want to start. Of course, I'm going to continue with my Sunday stitches, and we have Be Thou My Vision. Here it is, but mine is probably going to look a bit different because, again, I've pulled other colors. This does have some purple in it, and I have decided I'm going to do the flowers in purple too. So I have pulled a 40 count, and these I told you I'm going to try to do all on 40 count. Dames of the Needle Shroom Juice. It's kind of a really pale violet color almost. And so I have pulled, the green is the one I believe that's called for. Double check. Yes, Green with Envy. And I've also kept Concord, but I might be using that in a different spot. I don't know. Well, I haven't decided. I've pulled Concord. I've also pulled Mulberry and Whiskey by Weeks Dye Works. And I've also pulled Sugar Plum. So here is my color palette. So this one is the Green with Envy Concord. So the leaves and the writing are done with those two. I believe I'm going to use these two for the actual flowers, and then the whiskey in the middle. So that is what I think I'm planning on doing. And I think it'll be really pretty. And this should show up pretty well, especially because it's going to be outlined with that darker color. If you look at the pattern, there's a solid contrast there. And that's what gives those flowers the depth that they have. So we're going to see how that works out. I'm really excited about it. I was super excited when I pulled the colors. And I have all of the 12 patterns in here. I've actually pulled together, pull these out for you so you can see. I actually pulled a bunch of different flosses. Some of them are called for, some of them I just threw in there because I liked. I don't have them in any rhyme or reason, I know, but I have all the rest of them in here to do each month in order. So I'm excited. I think it's going to be fun. I wanted to do those. I'd love to have those all on a wall somewhere. And right now, that is my plan, is to actually frame them. So we'll see. To my third one. So the third start I had is the Scattered Seed samplers. She has a series each year that is on her website that is exclusive to her and kind of like a little club kit. And so the one I'm going to start this coming month is this one. And it is Out on a Limb, Pin Keep. So you get the, she does all of it on the Vintage Country Mocha. She gives you the needle. She has all, it's usually all DMC. Okay. But of course, I decided I'm going to mix it up a little. So instead of the blue, I am going to add in this purple. I think it'll be really pretty. So we'll see how it looks. If I don't like it, I can always switch back to the blue. But it's called Aura's Iris by Classic Colorworks, and I like the real strong variegation. So we'll play with that and see how it works. And I'm going to do it on that fabric, obviously. She also gives you other accoutrements in the kits. So I have them in this beautiful bag. And I've gotten them for the past couple of, I think 3 years worth. I have not done one yet. And I really thought I need to do these. Why am I not doing these? These aren't big. I will have to change. She gives you fabric. I will change the fabric if I go with the purple. She gives you the little ribbon. And with this one, you got this. She always gives you a little charm. This one was a little nest. It's beautiful. So I have, I think I have like 8 of them to do, maybe more than that. Yeah, 8 of them. I have 8 of them to do. Maybe it was only a couple of years. So I have all of these that I have planned to do this year throughout the year. And I think they're beautiful. And each of them are kits, full kits. So some of them, she also has an extra little, you know, they all have a little charm with them. They all come with a needle and the backing fabric. So depending on what I decide, because you know, sometimes I prerogative to change it up to make it a little more your own, especially color palette wise. So I have all of those in this beautiful bag. I can't remember where I got this one from. And I even got, it's from the same place, that I don't have a tag on it. I can't remember. I got this beautiful, which I put some of the flosses on eventually. Love that little bird. I thought it matched. So I do have those sitting there ready to go. So those are the 3 that I have chosen to do this month. So I definitely want to start those. I actually may sit and just get a thread in each of them like today, just so I have them started. So when I do feel better after surgery, I can just pick them up and go forward. But those are the ones for February that I have planned. I do think that I will try to, obviously not this month, but in March. So I won't be working for like 6 to 8 weeks. I will be recuperating, but I'm hoping that I can get some stitching done, especially once I can get off any pain meds that I might have to have. Would be great. So maybe I'll be very prolific in March / early April, because most likely I will not be going back to work till about April 18th, which is crazy to me. I'm going to be honest. I've never been out of work, like not working at a job for any length of time like this. Like even when I had the kids, I guess the one time I did was when I had my daughter. I think I did take 2 to 3 months because she was my firstborn. And then of course after that you're like, oh, I don't need that much time. That was pointless. So, I mean, I've always worked part-time or full-time. When I had the kids, I worked a lot of part-time. When they were really little, once they got in school, I was able to go back full-time eventually. So anyway, we'll see. So today I talked to you about a bunch of my friends are getting together and doing finishing on Zoom. And I'm very excited because I've had a couple of things set aside that I've shown you. So I finished this a while ago. And so I have it, I still need, but I have everything put together. I don't think I have anything to go around this. I'm not sure that I'm going to put anything around it, but I have these, that one, this one, this one, and this one. And actually, I do think I'm going to put maybe my initials or something up here. I need to stitch that in before I do it. But these are all the Plum Street cereal bowl collections. So I literally have them all kitted up with fabric and some trims that I might want to finish them with. I also pulled out the, which I might, maybe the little scissor fob try to work on. But I have all of these to finish too. I also have some other ones, but these were all kitted up and they're all like little pillows. So I thought I could easily get the sewing machine out and hopefully put these together and have some to show you. Wouldn't that be fun? Like I actually get some FFOs. I think that is everything, everyone. So wish me luck on getting some finishing done today and starting those. And hopefully if you can give me good thoughts or prayers for my surgery, that would be great. It does unnerve me a little. I don't like to be, I never like to be sick. I'm not a good sick person. And B, I don't like to not be able to do stuff and have to just take it easy, rest, recuperate. I can, do things and get up and everything, but just till, as much as I can do. They do want you after surgeries now to move around and do all those things so you don't become stagnant and whatnot, but not to overdo. So that's always a fine line for me. But I hope you have a great rest of your February. I hope to be back sometime in March. I can't promise when, only because I don't know how I'm going to do with recuperating. I will say that I do have some plans for March to start. Actually, one of the starts is actually the last one in the cereal bowl collection. The Old Rugged Cross, which is from the Heartstring Samplery Sunday Stitches. Brenda Gervais samplings #1 for Easter, the little eggs. And then I have a spring pillow tuck from Country Rustic Primitives I'd like to do too. So I have 4 instead of the 3. So if by the end of March I could do those 7, that'd be pretty amazing. And maybe get some other stitching in. We'll see. I would love to do that because like I said, I'd like to spend some time a little bit each day at least on some of those bigger projects and samplers that I still have to work. And that would be wonderful. But anyway, that's what I have planned for March. I have 4 more for April. Plus I want to finish Jessie Watson. So wish me luck. I am so thankful for all of you. Thank you for watching. And again, just always be kind. Bye, guys.